This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
A message from McAfee. Wondering why the post office is texting you or why you owe thousands of dollars in toll fees? Because someone's trying to scam you. The good news? McAfee can help. With McAfee's award-winning scam detection, it's easy to tell what's real and what's fake over text, in your inbox, and online. If they're
You want a free gift?
Seriously? If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
Hey, welcome to Unstable Topics, a fast-paced, jam-packed, unhinged bestie podcast filled with facts, reacts, and made-up games in between.
We're your hosts, Sarah
And Maggie.
and we're excited for you to join our best friend hangout, where we surprise one another with things we find interesting or hilarious just to see how the other will react.
Our friendship might be totally stable, but you never know what your bestie might throw your way to knock you off your game.
So come shake things up, learn something new, and laugh along with us. This is Unstable Topics.
Well, there's a party each and every year on Christmas Eve, where the fun and cocktail shrimp don't seem to end. Clark and Ralphie taking turns on the TV screen, laughing, singing, yelling with all of our friends. Well, it's Christmas, and everybody's gonna spread the holiday cheer. 'Cause it's Christmas. Whoa, oh, it's the best time of the year. Let's do fake reindeer with them.
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
So I'm very excited for this. Now, normally
Yay.
we save our bangers for November and December, but I don't know if this one is a November and December worthy banger. But this is
You love this stuff. Don't downplay it.
Oh, I'm
you
not-
absolutely adore this.
I'm not downplaying it because I will tell you that I love the Princess Switch franchise.
if I was into this before, before you had introduced me to this world, and I was aware of this world, but if I had come with the same energy, this would have been a banger for like November, December. I feel
there are better things for us to talk about in November, December. And honestly, maybe the sequel will be next year's November, December, but we have to watch the first one before we get to the sequel.
So just a little bit. I did read the description after watching this movie of the sequel and the third one, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
But see, here's the thing. We're watching
The description of the third movie sounds so fucking bonkers to me.
So this is why. So let me explain something. We've been doing the Christmas Prince movies.
Yes.
And we've only got one more left in that franchise.
That's wild to me.
I think that these movies already with the first with the first Princess Switch, these movies are astronomically more fun.
Yes,
now,
I would agree.
Christmas Prince has this like warm blanket aspect to it where it's just like fucking people palling around in a castle talking about Christmas, and you're just like, all right, fucking sure, I'll drink my peppermint tea and watch this. Like, it doesn't bum me out to watch those.
Yeah.
But the Princess Switch has, I would say, almost a hot, frosty self-awareness of how outrageous it is that only gets more self-aware as the franchise continues.
Okay.
Because by the time you get to the second movie and they've introduced a third Vanessa Hudgens that is an identical cousin, which is just simply not a thing. Like,
well, they even say in this one that they're not sisters, they're related
somehow.
Like, yeah. Like, this is absolutely insane. I'm going to argue against you for a second.
All right.
I don't think they were self-aware for this first one. I really don't.
I don't think that they were
played
super
it
self-aware.
very sincerely in this.
But I think they knew that they were making something silly, and when they started doing the sequels, really leaned into the silliness of it.
I think they definitely did there.
But listen, quick notes. This movie's longer than it needs to be at 1 hour and 42.
Dude, right? There's a moment. What?
But they waste no time getting the plot in motion. We are at this kingdom baking contest within 5 minutes of the start of this movie.
Yeah, so, all right. So, just some, to lead up to that, banger opening jam. I don't remember what it was because I didn't write it down, but it does have an awesome, great opening song. So, again, let's skip to where they get to the actual country because, like you said, it's within 5 minutes. These two people. I do
want to mention, because you were live texting me as you were watching this, and your very first note to me was, look, I'm on Vanessa Hudgens' side, that this is a huge
That's what I was
ass.
getting to.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, it is. They show up at her bakery. She's not an employee at a bakery. She owns a storefront.
Her and her best friend Kevin own a bakery.
And they're just like, hey, guess
Chicago.
what? On Friday, we're going to Europe for this cooking competition that you're part of. And she's like, homeboy, I can't fucking do that. Like, I have a job. And
He's
they're
like, when you and your boyfriend Paul broke up, I put our names in this hat to go to this bake-off in a different country. So here's the deal. Well, here's my issue. You have to tell her that you did that. When it happened. Like, even if you wait a day, like, hey, just a heads up. I put our names in this thing.
Probably nothing will come of it.
Probably nothing will come of it, but here's a heads up. When she runs into Paul, and Paul has not told her his new girlfriend about the girl he dated for 3 years, that shit was funny because she's like, I'm sure he talked about me, which is weird. Like, why would he? Like,
so there is this right before that. There's this like magical Christmas angel / Grish granter.
I have some comments about him later.
Listen, again, he's in the sequel, and my God, does he make me laugh in the sequel. But he does have this interaction where he's like, you might be having some cool things happening this Christmas or whatever. Yeah. And then she runs into the boyfriend, and she thinks that that's the cool Christmas magic.
That they're going to get back together.
And then she turns around and is like, so much for your Christmas magic, old man. Like, she's like, oh.
And he's like, bitch, it ain't Christmas yet.
Yeah. And I texted you about this. We had a bit of a conversation about this. Yeah. I will say, Vanessa Hudgens, this was like my introduction to her because I was too young for High School Musical. I find her
No, you weren't. You were too old for High School Musical.
Sorry, I was too old for High School Musical. Sorry.
Let's
it's early. I find her so charming and cute in these movies more than like the lead in Christmas Prince, more than like the Lindsay Lohan stuff that's been coming out lately. Like, she, for literally someone who is a child star, she still has a very like down to earth quality that doesn't make sense. Like, she as a person should not have that as someone who's been famous since they were a teenager.
It's very similar to some people may disagree with me, but I'll watch a Lacey Chabert Hallmark movie before I watch some of the other ones. Like,
no,
it's a
for
very
sure.
similar quality.
I also think that and maybe it's just because of the bakery side, she gives me a lot of Monica from Friends in this.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, so she goes.
And I will also say she is much better acting with other people than she is acting against herself.
Oh boy, we'll get into that
because it gets bad. So
that's part of the fun.
They head to this new country, and which I did say to you was like, she has never been. Like, she strikes me as somebody who's never been out of the country.
100%.
And like the moment they get there, she's like, I want to get over to the baking competition early. I just want to know my way around. And they're giving her a hard time about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop. She wants to get to the competition early. She's never been to this country before.
Yeah.
But
and of course we have to remember that Kevin brought his daughter.
So weird.
So he brings his daughter, and his daughter and Vanessa Hudgens have this secret handshake.
Up to this moment, I thought her mom died.
Yep.
Up to this moment, I thought Kevin's ex-wife was dead. I thought her mom was dead because that's how these things usually go, right?
Yep.
And especially because there's hints to that. Like when your mom was around and stuff like that. And she says, I want a new mom. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she's dead, right?
Yeah.
No, it comes out later that they just weren't compatible.
They weren't compatible.
To which, why didn't you leave your kid in the fucking country?
Yeah. Well, and then also this daughter, in not so many words, Vanessa Hudgens walks off, and the daughter's just straight up like, I wish you and her were fucking. Like, she literally says,
the whole time.
I
Her,
wish
Daddy.
you two were a thing, is what she says to him. And
Dude,
he's like,
Teddy
she's
even
my
looked at me.
best friend.
Yeah.
Like, she's my best friend. No, like, that's not going to happen.
At one point, the angel that was in Chicago does show up, and Vanessa Hudgens literally says, weren't you just in Chicago? To which this angel says to her, how could I have been in Chicago? This man says to a lady who was just in Chicago.
Just in Chicago.
You both could have flown from Chicago here.
But it's at the baking competition that Vanessa, I keep saying Vanessa, I forgot to write down the one character's name because I have.
Are you ready? Stacy is the name of the
Well,
baker.
I have Lady Margaret. I
and
remember
Margaret
to write
is
down.
the name of the,
So
Stacy and Margaret.
Stacy runs into Lady Margaret, and they obviously immediately recognize the similarity. And Lady,
I wouldn't. Like, I know that's wild to say, but I feel like I see people all the time that look like other people that I just like, I just move on from it.
But this is literally your absolute doppelganger. Like, not even like that person kind of looks like me.
Completely different. Like,
Done
they
up completely differently.
Yeah.
But
I don't
she's
know.
like, hey, how about you come to the castle because I need you to make me a wedding cake. And Stacy's like, sure, that's not sus at all.
Yeah.
And then they go and
hold on, because she then says, she's like, Stacy's like, okay, I just need to let like my like homeboy know because like I'm here with him. And she goes, Margaret says, you can't tell a soul about this. To which here's my response. Okay, I'll meet you later. And then she fucks off, and then I go tell Kevin anyway.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck, man? I'm gonna still tell the people I came with. It's not like they're gonna tell the king and queen. Like,
yeah. It's so weird. But they go, and then we have like Lady Margaret's handler, and she's the one that's like, well, one of your cousins did move to the Chicago area, so like maybe there's like a long lineage that has you guys connected. This is where the plan is explained. That like Lady Margaret,
I need you to do me a favor.
It's a Prince and Pauper situation.
Yeah, it is a Prince and Pauper situation, but here's how it's presented. I need you to do me a favor. It has nothing to do with baking. Would you like some tea? We've both seen multiple horror movies that start this way, and this lady's getting drugged. Like, she's waking up chained to a fucking table.
Yeah, but so basically the conceit is, I have to marry this prince. I don't really like spending time with him. I never get to just be about the kingdom with the people. Would you do me the honor of switching with me just for a couple days so I can like be amongst the people and have a little bit of normalcy before I get sucked into like princess life?
Now, up to this moment, it's been kind of jammed down our throats that Stacy is a planner. Like, she doesn't like to go against plan. She's a planner. She has to follow her plan.
Yep.
But for some reason, she then looks at her and goes, well, they say life is what's happening while you're making other plans. This is the turning point.
This is the moment.
This asinine plan.
So I also want to, at this point, I want to stress Vanessa Hudgens killing it as Stacy.
Yeah.
The voice and the acting choices of Lady Margaret.
It's so awkward.
It's so bad. And I think that they leaned into that more because then when we get to the sequel, the third cousin has like a really bad Cockney accent. And I feel like someone was just like, listen, Vanessa, baby, accents, not your skill set. So we're just going to go big. Just go big.
I think one of my favorite things about like the Netflix movies where this happens and the Hallmark movies where things like this happens and they go to Europe. I love that they just make up fucking countries.
Yeah, Fuck it.
Dude.
Let's just roll with it. Listen, we're gonna get
It
into.
kind of reminds me of what, Princess Diaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's a completely made up country. The Queen of Maldonia.
Well, we're gonna get into something. There's a slight issue that happens later, but we'll get into that in a minute. But obviously, Stacy and Lady Margaret need to learn about each other. And this is where we get the "What Christmas Means to Me" montage sequence.
Great song.
Great song. It's such a banger. They're learning how to walk like each other. One thing that slips Stacy's mind is teaching Margaret how to do a secret handshake.
That is like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a
like
long secret handshake.
It's Sean and Corey's secret handshake from Boy Meets World.
So here's the thing that I love about all of the Princess Switch movies.
Okay.
Lady Margaret is pretending to be Stacy.
Yes.
And it is day one. The secret is already out because of the secret handshake thing. And like, I love that they don't like stretch this out. Like, I love that this isn't like the little girl has suspicions and she's trying to find more evidence. It's just like,
no, we leave that to the fucking butler in the second half of this hour and 40-minute movie.
But
like, what?
So the reason I mention this, and I am giving away a little too many spoilers for the second movie that you haven't watched yet.
Oh yeah, don't go too far.
But there is this moment that makes me laugh because it goes against your expectations of the movie, where in Princess Switch 2, they have to switch again, and then
I can't wait to figure out why.
I honestly
can't wait.
I honestly do not remember the reasoning, but they switch again
because there's no reason.
But then Stacy gets kidnapped by the cousin, who thinks that she's kidnapping Margaret to switch places with. So when the cousin, as Margaret, is refusing to switch back as Margaret, it's not this long drawn out thing. It's just everybody immediately is like, oh, okay, the cousin is in there. like it's so
good.
It's so funny to me that like any other movie, this would be like a 45-minute plot line of them eventually figuring out. And it's just like, nope, that can't possibly be Stacy. It could only be the cousin. All right, cool. Yeah. Let's move on to solving that problem.
They're like, and I like that. I love that because they're not treating their audience like they didn't just watch a movie where all these people learned that there are identical people.
Exactly.
And all of these people, at least her handler, should know that there's another person out there.
Yeah, 100%.
That looks 100% like them. Hold on, I want to make sure my notes are lining up with this. Okay, so can we talk about when they first, like, when the king and queen are first starting to get a little doubts when they're talking about when she comes in and is pretending to be Margaret at the lunch table. Okay, so this is how the queen asks. She's like, well, I seem to remember that one of your members of your family was allergic to peanuts. Which one was it? And that's what throws her off. To which my response is, it doesn't matter. If someone at your wedding has a peanut allergy, don't put peanut dressing on anything.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone with a peanut allergy? They can't be in the same room with a peanut.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I remember my friend did this as a test at New York Comic-Con. One of the only times I went to New York Comic-Con, we went for the entire weekend. And it was my friend Dylan. And
Not me?
No, you're Dylan. I am so sorry.
Dylan.
It was my friend Matt. There was another Matt. Sorry, I just princess switched you two. And then this random girl that had asked if she could stay with us, named Ashley.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to not even say her name.
Okay.
That's just some random girl. And this girl...
That's funny.
This girl was, as we figured out throughout this weekend, one of the most self-absorbed people we'd ever encountered in our life.
Okay.
So,
did you test her peanut allergy, Matt?
No.
Okay.
We were going home, and she's like, oh, I've got to buy these New York Street peanuts. Like, I do it every time I come to New York. And my friend Matt lied about having a peanut allergy. He said, funny. You really shouldn't buy those. I have a peanut allergy. And she goes, well, I'll keep them in the bag. It'll be fine. And he's like, I don't think you understand. Like, prolonged exposure to the peanut could really seriously affect me. And she goes, I'll put it in the trunk then. And still bought the bag of peanuts to bring into the car. And that's when we were both like, okay, cool. We just never have to speak to this woman again after we get home. Like, this person is so self-absorbed.
So I'm confused. How did this person end up with you guys?
It was
Just
literally that she did video stuff for a friend of mine, and she was going to be doing video content and asked for a ride in to stay at the hotel. And we were like, all right, well, it'll save us the hotel costs.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking hotel over the weekend in New York City, so certainly not cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
For sure.
But yeah, we got there on Friday, and by Sunday we were like, I am so sick of this human being.
I get that.
Anyway, all of that out of the way. Back to the movie.
So she ends up calling Margaret.
Yes.
Like she ends up calling Margaret because it turns out this whole deal was Stacy was supposed to be able to just hang out in the palace, in the castle or whatever the fuck. Well, what ends up happening is the prince no longer goes on his excursion and decides to stick around because he wants to spend time with his future wife, which is awesome. Maybe Margaret would have fell for him too if she decided to stick around and not fuck off to a different place. However, if I'm Stacy and I'm on the phone and I'm like, hey, things have changed. The prince is still here. You also didn't tell me about this charity ball. Yeah. To which Margaret responds, well, it sounds like you're doing great. I gotta go.
Yeah.
No, bitch. I'm livid if I'm Stacy.
Yeah. Sounds like you got a handle on this situation, bitch.
Deals off. Deals off. Get back here, or I'm 100% going public with your weird ass plan. Like, for real. And like I said, perhaps Margaret would have fallen for this dude if she stuck around and got to know him as well. Because she even says in the beginning she doesn't know him very well.
She's like, I met him twice. Like,
yeah.
Well, because you know what it is? They have to walk this awkward line, right? In most shows,
he has to be a jerk, but he can't be too much of a jerk.
Exactly.
Other people have to fall in love with him.
Exactly. It is the complicated balancing act that this movie specifically needs to play.
Because the Hallmark version of this movie has him being a dick and then her falling in love with Kevin.
Yes.
And there's now we're having to balance both of them. So,
but I do think that they do a decent enough job.
I think they do a really good job. There's one person at the end of this movie who has annoyed me more than all of them, and right now I'm defending her.
Yeah.
And it's Stacy. Stacy pisses me off at the end of this movie. I just want everyone to know.
It's a little rough. But one of the notes that I did write down, I think we're about this point, but I just needed to mention it. People singing We Wish You a Merry Christmas just always makes me smile. Like, there's like a scene where the prince and Stacy as Margaret go to like an event and people start singing We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and it's just lovely. It's lovely Christmas feels.
I have a similar note when they actually do have the little like charity thing. More horror films need to use Carol of the Bells because damn, that shit is haunting.
It's
when
haunting.
They're playing that on the piano, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Unstable Topics, a fast-paced, jam-packed, unhinged bestie podcast filled with facts, reacts, and made-up games in between.
We're your hosts, Sarah
and Maggie.
And we're excited for you to join our best friend hangout, where we surprise one another with things we find interesting or hilarious just to see how the other will react.
Our friendship might be totally stable, but you never know what your bestie might throw your way to knock you off your game.
So come shake things up, learn something new, and laugh along with us. This is Unstable Topics.
Are you troubled by trying to find a great movie podcast to listen to?
Do you experience a love for monster movies from the classic Universal era to the modern creature features?
Have you or your family ever watched episodes of Elvira, Monster Vision, or Svengoolie?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Open up your podcatcher and search for the professionals. The Monster Rally Podcast.
Our hilarious and asinine hosts have an ever-growing library of episodes for you to listen to 24 hours a day to serve all your monster movie needs.
We'll talk about it.
So my favorite moment in this whole movie involves Lady Margaret as she's starting to fall for Kevin.
Yes.
And Kevin is like, why am I suddenly falling in love with my friend Stacy, whom I've never had feelings for? So he's trying to be real smooth, and they put the child to bed, and they sit down on the couch to watch a movie.
I feel like I know that he is downplaying his feelings for Stacy, where he's like, I've never had feelings for her. I feel like it's definitely hinted at.
It's so
you are not buying your friend a ticket to a different country.
That's true. Listen,
like
for the sake, here's the thing. For the sake of me being able to enjoy this movie, I'm gonna have to trust Kevin
because that Kevin never had a thing for Stacy.
Otherwise, the read of this movie is, well, at least this girl who looks just like Stacy seems to be interested in me, and that's good enough.
Matt, what makes me happy is you don't see that, where that's how I view this movie.
Dylan, I know that is a way to view this movie, and I'm just flat out refusing to read it that way.
Kevin's like, sick! I've got one that looks just like her. I can't wait till the cousin's introduced. Maybe he can get another one.
It's like
he's just collecting them all.
It's like when you it's very rare that this happens, but when you hear stories of people who date their ex-girlfriend's sister or something, where you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How much do you love that family?
Hey, how could you? I don't know how you could pull that off.
That family must be the most forgiving, chill family in the fucking world, apparently. But sorry. So
I have the Toy Store. Did we do the Toy Store yet? Is that before?
Sure,
go.
Let's do the Toy Store before this, because
the Toy Store is so funny. So when they get into the toy store, number one, Margaret as Stacy goes, I've never been in a toy store before. And Kevin's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love the kid playing off. She's never been in a Bulgravia toy store before. Which, no shit. None of you have.
None of us have.
I love... This is quintessential act natural. They went full don't be suspicious as both of them are in this toy store, just knocking shit over. It's so good. And then they play Twister, and it's super cute.
They do play Twister, and it's very cute. So he's trying to charm her, and he's like, let's put on a movie. Said that's the best spaghetti I've ever had. And he says, thanks, I figured I'd do the heavy lifting. Bruh, you boiled some noodles. Calm down. So they sit down on the couch, and they're like, let's watch a movie. And what app could you possibly watch a movie on but Netflix? So they put on Netflix, and then he puts on the Christmas Prince. He goes, it's your favorite movie of all time. It is nobody's favorite movie of all time. I just want to stress that for starters. And that's coming from someone who loves the Christmas Prince. That is not a good enough movie to be someone's favorite movie of all time. But the last sequel related thing, this does create a bit of a conundrum.
Yeah.
Because if you remember when we watched the Christmas Prince 2, there is a scene where the Christmas Prince and the woman that he's marrying at their wedding look over at fucking Lady Margaret and the prince, and they have a head nod. So Lady Margaret's not like, oh, Christmas Prince, I know these people. These are friends of mine from the kingdom over there.
Well, what if we just assume
it's a documentary?
The first Christmas Prince is a reenactment, but they brought in all the real people.
They brought in all the real people for it. It creates such a weird glitch in the Netflix Christmas Princess universe.
I really wish they would lean into it. Lean into it. I want to see the Christmas Avengers come together to get married or something. I don't know. To stop a plot.
But I mean, basically from this point on, they end their switch, but then we get to the bakery contest, and this is where...
We have not talked about Brianna, who is the nemesis of Stacy, the baker.
Yes.
So she is the contest winner from last year, and this character is really strange. She may be in this movie for 10 minutes tops, but they have her character in the middle of the night come in with scissors, go into this studio that apparently nobody is locked doors to at all, just a studio randomly at night, comes in and takes scissors and cuts the power cord to their KitchenAid mixer. I'm sure there are cameras all over the place that have caught this. This is filmed in this is set in 2018. It's not like we're set like in the 70s or 60s here. I'm sure there's a lot of security around this building. Also, you're telling me this huge baking competition doesn't have other KitchenAid mixers in the building?
Nope.
Like, you didn't anticipate that like a mixer might be malfunctioning.
Maybe
also,
it's like an
I think
Iron
your
Chef
number one rule is
situation.
to check all your tools when you first like get started.
Yeah, probably. Listen, maybe it's like an Iron Chef situation where it's like, homeboy, you got to be super fucking prepared. Did you not bring a bake up mixer? That's your problem. But anyway, so
what happened
we are
to
back.
the cord? This was your fault. What do you think? I just snipped it myself?
Yeah. Margaret and Stacy, they switch back. Unfortunately, they are photographed by the paparazzi about this. Well, they're photographed by Edward's driver, who shows the Queen. The Queen then pretends to be sick so that Edward has to attend the competition with Margaret instead.
This is when I started getting pissed. This is when I was getting really upset because she's like her and the king know at this point. And they're playing it all like, oh, I'm sick, you gotta go back. And Margaret is like, well, I can't do this. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? She gets up and steps out. And then the king and queen give like this look at each other like, I wonder what that's about. Just fucking say it. Just fucking say it. Are you kidding me? There's so many moments.
The Christmas magic, Dylan. God, they have to reconnect.
They can. Just say it, because once you get it out of the way, then we can move forward to them getting to the bakery. But no, we prolong that a little bit. She leaves, goes to sit out on the bench, and he comes out. It's like, what's going on? What's wrong? And then she has to explain it. So what? We push off the explanation for 10 minutes just to give me anxiety?
Yep, that's how they do it.
Dude, I fucking hate it.
Hey, despite all of the stuff, Stacy and Kevin still win this competition. Now, I know they weren't the judges, but I'm not going to lie. If I lost a baking competition and then find out that the people who won, A, are friends with the queen of this, the princess of this kingdom, and B, might possibly be fucking the prince of this kingdom, I would feel like that was an invalid win.
I would agree to that.
I'd be like, this is outrageous. Well. But as they're getting the medals, everyone discovers about the switch. And this is when Margaret professes her love to Kevin and that she wants to just live a normal life. She doesn't want the royal life. While Stacy starts
doubling down on plans again. And I'm like, no. You had, like, this is my problem with this movie. This is a genuine complaint. I'm not just sitting here making fun of this movie. This is a genuine complaint. I felt like the character of Stacy regressed so much when she was having the conversations with the prince. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to marry some baker. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You literally just switched roles with this character.
Yeah.
You experienced all of this stuff. You were like, what, fell off a horse and then you became like a badass on it? Like, you became like who you wanted to be. Why are you still acting this way? Why are you still like, you're not supposed to marry me, you're supposed to marry this person? What do you mean? You just saw that person making out with your best friend. You think he's gonna be like, no, it's okay. It's all right, I'm gonna get with them. I do like Kevin. Kevin's reaction to this situation is much more believable, where he's like, so that was you? Yeah? And this is your girl, right?
Oh.
So you're pretty pissed, right? And he's like, nah. He's like, all right. We should talk, right? Cool. Kevin seems to have the most like down-to-earth reaction about it, and I love it. I love it.
He's fine with it. But yes,
there is another version of this movie where the solution is to just keep this ruse going for decades. And that's the version of the movie I want to see in like 20 years.
Of course it is. But at the end, Prince Edward is like, look, let's date for a year, and if we still feel like we're in love, then we'll just do the wedding in a year. We jump to a year.
Yeah, we all got time for all that. Wedding!
Yeah. We jump to a year later. She throws the bouquet. Lady Margaret catches it. Knowing look to Kevin. Setting up a sequel. What could happen next? Who knows? Stay tuned later on.
Well, I read the description, and it sounds like there's a bridge over troubled waters there.
A little bit. I can't believe you spoiled it with the Wikipedia.
It was not Wikipedia. It literally, so there's a Princess Switch collection on Netflix, and it has the 3 movies next to one another, and I was looking at their posters, and I was like, this is wild.
Yeah.
So I just read the description of the next one, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No, it happens. The Princess Switch 2 switched again. There was a very short-lived podcast on Geekscape called I Love Trash, and we covered that. I was the guest on that episode, and that is among one of my favorite podcast recordings I ever did, because myself and the host of that show, Marie Maloney, laughed so fucking hard talking about moments in this movie. So whatever, we're gonna get there soon, but not too soon, because Dylan, it's getting a little spooky out there, man.
Ooh, it's getting real spooky,
scary. Stay tuned next week for more.
Now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Happy holiday, have a great holiday, have a merry happy holiday.
Hey, welcome to Unstable Topics, a fast-paced, jam-packed, unhinged bestie podcast filled with facts, reacts, and made-up games in between.
We're your hosts, Sarah
and Maggie.
And we're excited for you to join our best friend hangout, where we surprise one another with things we find interesting or hilarious just to see how the other will react.
Our friendship might be totally stable, but you never know what your bestie might throw your way to knock you off your game.
So come shake things up, learn something new, and laugh along with us. This is Unstable Topics.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.